Hey guys, this is Amaziz and it is Tech Time, and today we are doing some C# programming, and we are going to do Windows Forms application. Windows Forms application has GUI, so that's why we're going to be doing it. There's WPF, which is the newer version, but I'm going to do that later after I explain Windows Forms application. More people tend to use Windows Forms application, so that's why I'm explaining it. I'm going to be explaining it. So we're going to go ahead and jump right in. I'm going to assume that you went through the C++ tutorial and the first C# intro tutorial. So we're going to jump in and go ahead, go to start and type VIS. Visual Studio should pop up, and click it and it appears. That's using Magic. So then you go to File, New, Project, there it is, and we're going to go to Visual C# right here. If you don't have it, you'll be in one of those, so just go ahead, pop out, go back in C# and go to Windows Forms application. It's actually the first one that you're going to click on. So what I'm going to name my solution is I don't know, I'm just going to keep it as Windows Forms application, or let's make it C# second tutorial. There. It doesn't matter what you name it, just make sure you locate it where you want to. Just don't put any symbols. Go ahead and press OK, and there it is. You have a Windows Forms application. You can run it right now and see this page right here. This is the designer, hint why there it says design right here, and this is the form one. So go ahead and press debug and click on start without debugging right here, and when you click on it you will see this form, hint Windows Forms application. This is form. So I have a different program. Don't worry about this thing right here. I'm gonna actually shut down this program, and there it is, it's done. I have another program where I have two monitors, so this won't appear to you because I can click it and it goes to the other monitor, and then I click it back and it comes back in here. So don't worry about this one. What you need to worry about is having these three. This one maximizes it, this one minimizes it, this one actually minimizes. I don't know what the word is for this. Restore down. No one uses that word. Minimizes. You can click it back again. There's the logo for it at the bottom, and you can close it. So that's it. So what we are gonna be explaining right away is you want to design. Why did you come here for C#? Because you want to design something with a GUI. GUI is something interface. I'm not sure what the actual words for it is, but it's actually having something to click on, some graphical user interface. There it is, I got it. Graphical user interface. So you have some graphics in front of you. It's not just a console. So that's what it is about. So we're gonna go ahead and open our toolbox. Our toolbox should be on the right here. So let's click on it, and there's our toolbox. But I'm gonna go ahead and exit out just in case you don't have it. You go to the view, and then you look for the word toolbox, and you should be able to find it right here. Control A Alt X would show it up for you. If you click on view and you go down to here, toolbox, you'll see it. It's not very hard to see. It's about in the middle. Click on it and bam, you get toolbox right here. Now you won't get any screwdrivers in here or anything like that. You'll just get some buttons and anything like GUI wise, graphical. So what we are gonna do today is make a button and make a text box where the user can enter their name. They click the button, the button would say display, and it would display their name in a text message. So something very simple. So we want a button. Are we gonna go down and find button this way? What if we want something else from the bottom? We don't want to do that. So what we can do instead is just search for it. BUT, there it is, button. There is button and there is radio button. Radio button is not what you think it is. It's not one of those clickable buttons. Let's actually drop one right here. You just drag and drop, and it's just a button that you can click on and it goes green or not green. So don't get too excited. Sorry about that. Actual radio buttons need some more graphics than this. So go back to the toolbox. Here's the button. You can double click it and it would appear in your program, or you can drag it like this by clicking on it and keeping it clicked and then letting go right here. There it is. There's your button. So I'm gonna actually delete this one and keep this one, and I'm gonna put it right here. Alright, or in the middle, whatever. We can drag it to the size if you are very precise and want it to be perfect. I am that way, so I like to make sure that it's equal on both sides. There it is. One good tip to keep in mind that you can press the toolbox and click this button right here, the auto hide, and it would keep it right in the right side. This is only for when you're in the design view, so you can keep it all the time there. You don't have to go back and forth with it. The other thing is, you want to see the properties of the button. You can click here, the properties, and we're going to keep it from auto hiding because we're going to use it a lot. What if you don't have the properties? Close it. Let's find it. Right click on the button, and there it is. Bam, properties. You can even right click on the form itself and click properties, and you will see it. Even the form has a name and form has properties. What do these properties do for you? See this form one? It has a text in here. This, click right click and go to properties, and we can see form one in the text. We can change it to say first program, and bam, there it is, first program. You can even change the icon right here. So all these properties are what is displayed and what is being used right here. The back color is the background image. There's background image layer. There's the cursor. You can change it to whatever cursor that you'd like to use. Don't make it too crazy. You can make the font different. You can change anything in the font. This is all the appearance wise. This is the behavior, how it works. I haven't played with it too much, but say one of the most useful things is there's auto scroll. That is a good one. The maximum size. So you know how you can launch your program. If you want to do it and you don't know how, debug, start without debugging. There it is. So say you have this where you can drag and move your viewer like this. Do you really want to let the user do that? If you don't, you can exit out, and you see this size right here, this size under layout. You'll have to scroll down a little bit and just copy this, Control C, or right click, copy, and go to minimum size, right click and paste, and then go to maximum size as well, and then paste. So now the minimum size and the maximum size is the same. So if we go to debug, start without debugging, look what happens. I can't really play with it. It's just not possible. So exit out. The other cool things is the auto size mode is you can change it to grow only, grow and shrink, so you can play with that as well. The auto size is the important one, is true or false. So now we made it to true to auto size, and debug, start without debugging. It'll auto size itself to fit in, I believe. I'm not sure about this one. I'll have to research it and make sure, but let's go forward. Now in here, in this area where the window style is, you have minimize box. If you set it to false, look at this right here. Keep your eye right on this button, and I'm gonna make it to true. Do you see that? It's become clickable. If you make it false, it's unclickable. So I'm gonna keep it true because I want to let the user minimize the box. What about maximizing? I don't want to let the user maximize it. So this button is now unclickable. Is there any other button that I want to make false? I don't think so. Control. You can make it false and it would take everything away, and we can make it true to keep it. So we want them to actually X out the program, get rid of it. So we're going to keep that on. You can play with the rest of it, up to you. So I'm done with this. I'm going to go to the properties of the button. As usual, the text in almost every object, or whatever you want to call it, in the properties, the text is what is being displayed right here. So we want to say display name. Let's make it display name, and display name is right there. The next thing I want to change is the name. See the button here? This is when you call it. So don't worry about it too much right now. Just name it as I tell you, and you'll see later. There's no dictatorship here. I will explain it to you, so don't worry. Usually people explain it as BTN. That stands for button. And we're going to underscore, and we're going to say display. Or display name. That's better naming. I like this, so let's keep it that way. The other things is that you might want to use, there's text align, there is enable. If you disable it, people won't be able to use it. And the visible, you can make it to false, so it's not visible anymore, and you can make it to true. You'll see this as you go on and as your needs seem to be fit with whatever. If you need something else, you need to use it. You can ask me a question, I'll put it in the community questions. But I learned it as I go, whatever I need it. So don't worry about the rest of it. When you need it, you'll learn it. So anyway, there's the name. So now we want to make it clickable. So to make, or not make it clickable because it is right now. So let me show you. Debug, start without debugging, and we can click this all day as we want. There's a button here. We can click it as many times as we want. Exit out. Okay, I want to make it do something inside when the user clicks it. So to make that happen, I can either double click it. So let's double click it. Bam, you are inside the form1 class. This .cs stands for class. How do I know that? Let's minimize the toolbox because I'm not going to need it as much, but let's keep the properties. If you go to Solution Explorer, right here, you see form1.cs. Inside it, there's the designer, and inside there is, I'm sorry, hold on one second. There's too many files right here. Actually, I'm wrong about this one. The designer is this one right here. So there's the designer, and you don't need to worry about the rest of the files except for these two. So the designer right here, and this one is the one where the code for the designer is in the back. So when we double click this, we go to the form1.cs, and we see the button right here. This is the event button, display name underscore click. This is the click. We call them events. It happened as an event. When you click it, then an event triggers. I think you've heard this before when you are around programmers. An event is triggered. Something is triggered. That is what is triggered. So in here, we want to display a message. So what we can do is message box. This is a message box in C#. It sits inside the system .windows.forms. So message box dot show, it will show us what we tell it to show. So we're gonna say displaying name here and close it. That's it. That's all you need to do. It will display a message. I'm gonna get rid of this line because I don't like it. And we can do this. This is a cool trick because there are too many lines right here. There are too many namespaces. We want to get rid of some of them. We don't want them. You can right click on it, organize using or usings, remove and sort, and bam, you get a little bit less lines. So you can do debug, start without debugging, and now click on the name, and there it is, displaying name here. Okay, this is standard from Microsoft. The message box, it always displays like this. There's always a white background here and a gray background here. Not sure why. They could have made it better, but they didn't. So whatever. There's a message box. You can use it to display things. So now I want to display the username, but I want them to let me know what their name is. So we need a text box then. But before we need a text box, I'm going to put a label. So we're going to drag the label and put it right here. The label is you can't change the text inside it. It just labels something. It's a label. So you go to the text after you right clicking on it and properties, there's the text, and we're going to say your name. So the user knows to put their name there. So we're labeling the text box that they're going to be putting their name in. You don't need to click on any events in it. Don't worry about that. I will explain the events in a second. Let's go to the toolbox and let's grab a text box. Beware that there's a rich text box, and this one has more offerings in regards of color and accessing it and changing background and everything. I've used it once before and it's awesome, but there's no need for it right now. We can use a text box. So let's double click it. There's a text box. We can drag it right here, and there it is. There's a text box, and let's drag it so so we can feel happy and sleep at night. And it's at the end. There it is. There's a text box. So let's just remember one thing. There's no text here, so you can display a text here and see it displays right there. So just keep it empty, and it comes in empty actually. The name, let's name it txt box underscore name. And for the label, I'm just gonna name it just in case I need it, lbl underscore name. You don't need to, so don't worry about that. But for the shoot, what did I do? I don't think I did anything wrong. I just clicked something wrong. Anyway, there's a text box and txt box underscore name. So the next thing we want to do is the click, but I don't want to double click it because I can double click it and this would show up. So I'm gonna delete that actually and go back. I broke it. I shouldn't delete that because it does some code in the background, and I will show you that in a second. So let's click on it and let's go to here, events. Do you see in the properties? So right click, properties. We are in the properties, right? Okay, I'm gonna go slow for this one because this is good explanation here. Go on the top. Do you see this right here? It says events. Click on it. It looks like a thunder. Zeus may have been here. Click on it and then you will see the events right here. The property changed is when something changes about this object. The text changed is right here. So there is no clickable button for the text box. There is a text change because if you click it, there nothing happens. There may be a click event, and let's go look through it. There maybe is one. There is a click button. There it is. You can right click on here and make it to go to one event, or you can double click it here and it would make an event for you here. So, or say I want to delete that event, I can go back and erase it, and that's it. I clicked enter again by mistake. There it is. Alright, we got rid of it and it disappears from here. So let's go back and actually let me drag this to the right so you can see both sides at the same time. So actually let's make a clickable event, and there it is. So I want to erase it. I click back on here for the events and I go up and I erase it completely and I click here and save, and there it is. It's gone. It's magic. That's what Microsoft does. So there's a double click event, there's a mouse capture event, there is a enter event. The enter event is when you hover over it. There is the leave event when you leave the text box, when your mouse leaves the area. There's key down, there's layout, there is mouse down when you click on it, mouse enter, mouse hover, just hovering above it, it would display some kind of message or whatever. So you know how when you go over a menu and then it would tell you in a hovering, like let me try to explain this in a better way. Where it says events, that is actually a hover event, what is happening inside. So this kind of make me wonder who came first, Visual Studio or the code inside it, C#. Like this event, how did it happen? Is it coded in C#? I don't believe so, but I'm not gonna worry about that right now. But there's a text change and we're gonna actually erase it because we don't need it. So erase it, click here, Control S, and bam, be gone. Be gone. It's not being gone, so we can erase it and see what happens. I believe there may be some code in the back. Nope, no code in the back. It's fine. It's completely fine. The code in the back that I was speaking of is you can click on the initialize component and go to function, and there is some gibberish here. You can read this gibberish. I can read it, but I recommend that you don't play with this whatsoever. If you change anything, it will change a lot of stuff inside. Do you see this text, this display name? This object is actually this right here. So the click event is right here. This is it. I can make it go away if I want to. This is the display button. I can make it go away. So for example, this text box, we named it. If you want to go back to the names, there's the events and there's the one by it, properties. Or you can just right click properties, I believe. No, it won't go back. So you have to click on properties. These two buttons right here change back and forth. So let's go to the name, text box name. There it is. So let's go down until we find it. Where is it? Where are you? Where are you? There it is. This is the object that we're talking about right here. See, it doesn't have an event where the button has a click and it has an event handler. There it is. And there's the name, there's all the information. But I'm not going to make you worry about it, so close it out. Never go in there. Don't mess it up. But it initializes your component just as it says. Now, how do we get the text that is being entered right here? So to explain this better, debug, start without debugging, and we typed a name here, but how do we get the text there, right there? So I can display name, but it doesn't display it. Why is it not displaying it? What kind of magic do we need to use to do this? So close it, and the type of magic you need to use is this. You can do this. I'm gonna make it so that it's easier for you to see. I'm gonna make a string variable and call it message, or let's call it name. That's a better name. Name is equal to something. What is that something? Remember the name we gave to the text box, txt, and it shows up right here? That is calling, this is actually calling this text box. So this, we can press dot. Why can we press dot? Because C# is object-oriented language. It uses dots. I love it. So, in the dot, you can go inside all of this stuff. But instead of doing that, I'll make your life easier by saying type text. You see this text? It actually gets or sets the current text inside the text box. So double click it, dot. You can clone it, you can compare it, you see what it contains. You can see everything inside it. This is just a simple string. I am gonna do trim. Trim trims in any spaces on the end of the string. So it takes, if there is a name, like say Azam, my name, and the user entered 5 spaces, it will cut these 5 spaces from this end. If I say 5 spaces then Azam, it will cut these 5 spaces from either end. So let's go ahead and click it. It's a function, so put parentheses, semicolon, and then you call the name and you put it right here. You don't put it between double quotes because that's a string. Now let's run this magic and see what happens. Debug, start magic, start without debugging. If you click it right now, there is no name, so it displays nothing. But if you type Azam Aziz is awesome with 1,000,000 spaces and hope that your computer doesn't crash, display name, and there it is, Azam Aziz is awesome. Now how do I know there are no spaces at the end? How do I know it got rid of it? Well, let's put 5 spaces or however many in the front. Display name, it gets rid of them. So I'm gonna debug it for you and show you exactly what is going on inside here. F5, nothing is going on inside the code right here, so we can see that. Let's put this on the right. There is a Lamborghini right here. Let's put this on our right, and let's drag this. There's another Lamborghini, and let's see what will happen. Okay, so let's click it. Now it goes inside here and name is null, right? The text box, so there's a cool feature right here, the immediate window, and I believe this sits right in debug, Windows, and immediate right here. Debug, Windows, immediate. Go to here, and this is what I want you to type, text box, or you can just type txt and control space, and it will fulfill it for you. It will find the name for you, txt box underscore name, and type enter. Do you see all of this information? This is the immediate, it does the code right away for you, so it runs it right away. Do you see this? This is whatever is inside the text box. There's text, so we can go up .txt, and the text is nothing, it's null. So we know this ahead of time. Null name is going to be null, or just nothing. There it is. So it's going to show nothing. There is nothing. You can't see nothing, but it's there. Believe me. So what we're gonna do here is a million spaces, Azam, Aziz, a million spaces is what I want to put a period here, that because that bothers me, and then a million spaces, display name. What is happening here? Once we clicked it, there's the event, it triggered, we go inside. Now let's type txt box underscore name dot txt or text, sorry, there it is. Do you see all these spaces? There it is, all spaces and Azam Aziz. And what we can do is do that and dot trim, and there it is, no spaces. If I do dot trim end, it will only trim the end. If I do dot trim start, it will only trim the start. So what we're gonna do next is press F10 or step over, there's this button right here, and the name is actually without the spaces, and using magic it will display a message where it says Azam Aziz, the text. So I hope this covered all of your questions and wonders and curiosities about GUI. It is not difficult, it is very easy to do. Just play with it a little bit, try playing with the events, try playing with the toolbox. Don't break anything, and if you have any questions, go ahead and let me know. I'll answer it on the community questions. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Please leave a like, a comment, a subscription. If you have any suggestions, please go ahead and let me know, and I'll see you in the next time. Bye.